Greetings, captains, and welcome to episode 2A of Clingin On. This is episode 2A because I had to split this particular mission up into two parts just to keep it a watchable length. The mission in question is bringing down the house, and we are off to the Kether Lowlands. Handily, the retweaked away team interface does at least let you make sure that your crew are appropriately dressed for the mission. Oh yeah, and of course the auto patcher wanted to play before it let us go anywhere, so let's quickly reprise. The Lady Sorella of the House of Martok has been having a little assassin trouble. She has lent on the Chancellor Jumpok, and while the Chancellor would much rather the entire House of Martok went and burned in Grethor, he can't actually ignore this and he has to at least appear to do something about it. Fortunately, this newly minted sap of a commander happened to wander into the Great Hall at the wrong moment, so guess who got palmed off with the job? Yeah, us. Anyway, apparently we should report to Lady Sorella as soon as possible. Perhaps you should have mentioned that before we spent several hours trekking across the Kether Lowlands to get here. However, it turns out they have actually been having some vandal and nuisance problems. I don't know, maybe they spray painted it with "Worf is a pacifist," or maybe they served dead gach at the breakfast table. Such heinous crimes cannot go unpunished. Nice scenery though. I mean, as these things go, this is actually quite a decent map. Somebody put a real bit of work into this. Now then, we have to go talk to some farmers, and we're not allowed to leave any visible bruises. And that's what they've been growing? Either this is the world's best asparagus crop, or they've got a real knotweed problem over here. Now then, harvest. How are they even going to harvest this stuff? Anyway, I can only assume that they're going to chainsaw it down and then stand well clear, because, I mean, it's not like they're going to get it out any other way. The targs have been tearing up the roots. Presumably the plague of crushed targ was your first clue as to that happening, because anybody uprooting one of those had better be on the other side. Alright, a surveyor up on the hill. Well, I suppose we could go and talk to him. We didn't have to beat anybody up down here. Disappointing, I suppose, but they are all loyal servants of the House of Martok. Therefore... Ooh, yellow blips. Yellow blips, yellow blips, yellow blips. We might actually get to kill... Ooh, breakfast! Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I was feeling peckish. I can only assume that if we finally slice these and fry them up with some oil, we get something not dissimilar to bacon. Of course, the way this is going... Cooked meat. Is that even a Klingon thing? No, we'd probably just eat this stuff raw if we wanted to be proper Klingons. And that's Romulan. How did that farmer not notice that the surveyor, a Klingon surveyor using Romulan equipment? Well, I suppose there might be something to this assassination, because either that or this farmer is seriously blind and didn't notice that the surveyor was in fact a Romulan. Let us go talk to this delivery handler, see if he can shed some light. No, and he's over here. I don't believe this. There is a Romulan wandering around on Kronos, and nobody thought it was unusual? Ugh. That is why these people are farmers and delivery handlers and not proper warriors. The only thing you do with Rianbe is to kill them. Messily, if at all possible, but if you haven't got the time for doing it the old-fashioned way, there's always a disruptor. Either way, the only good Romulan is a dead Romulan, and the only thing better than a dead Romulan is a dying Romulan who tells you where to find his mates. Right. More scenery, very, very pretty in that Klingon way. And there is the miscreant who probably didn't notice anything odd about a Romulan on Kronos either. Ugh, the House of Martok, it's no wonder they're going downhill. Oh, right, and he was ordering explosives! And there was an authorization... Oh, Lord. Ugh. Yes, folks, Klingons... The House of Martok needs to hire brighter servants. Now then, more yellow blips. They weren't there a moment ago. Now, can we just do a bypass and go up this hill? Well, we certainly can, but our away team's getting confused. Right, and there's some yellow blips ahead as well. Now, can the pathfinding AI actually work this out? Well, it's trying its hardest, so it's getting to the node there, turning around and trying to find the closest path to me. So if I head down here, hopefully, yeah, there we go. So it was trying to work on a node system, and of course, because we're off the map, or at least off where we were expected to be on the map, the nodes aren't quite connecting up and it's struggling just a little. Oh well, they'll figure it out. Yeah, there you go, you can see the blip on the minimap. He's just about worked it out. Good little drones. Unfortunately, there's no rock climbing skill in this game, so we'll wait for the last one, Cobor, to figure this out, and then we shall continue on. It was probably quicker just to plough through those hostile blips and do this the way we were intended to, but we are Klingon. We do not follow other people's plans. Romulans. Of course, there's nothing unusual about Romulans on Kronos. Oh no, sir. No wonder the Empire is falling on hard times. If this is the quality of its civilian workforce, there are no Romulans on Kronos. Well then, yeah. Some ambush, guys. Some ambush. Now, we could take them out, but no. The mission comes first. Let us head on. For all that I'm picking on the AI, it's actually pretty decent. I know a lot of games that would have simply said, right, stick rigidly to the nodes and blunder straight into any packs of enemies that come your way. So perhaps I'm being a little unfair now, as we don't really have enough bacon. None dropped off those last targ. Well, I suppose bacon is bad for you. Let's just head on round. Suspicious little yellow blip there, and it's in our mission area, so let us continue. Up the hill, confuse the AI yet again. Solid, I can't wait for them to unpick themselves. We'll just have to see if they can find a way round. AI is very obviously running on a node network. Those of you who've ever mucked around with single player levels in Hammer or Unreal Ed will be familiar with all the fun you can have if the AI's pathing nodes don't really line up and match. Now then, we have found our assassin. Tarson. Disruptor shotgun, ladies and gentlemen. 2 shots and he runs away, and of course he left friends, didn't he? Right. Blam, 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 blam. Dodge the grenade, kinda. And just bring on the violence. Pulse wave assaults, ladies and gentlemen. Best possible weapon in close quarters. Not least because you get enough damage to flatten most things in half a dozen shots. Well, at least someone's got the proper attitude to Romulans. Now then, how did he... So not only is there a Romulans on Kronos, there is a cloaked ship in orbit of Kronos. Is everyone in the Defence Force utterly incompetent? Apparently so. Well, let us see if Praxis Station can shed any light, since that Romulan ship probably left without any of the 20-plus vessels in orbit noticing anything odd. We'll switch on the auto-fire for the various weapons while we're here. Straight right-click if you've never had to do that before. All very simple. It means you don't get RSI from mashing your spacebar like you did back in the good old days. Right. Okay. Right. So you could have found it, but you didn't think to look. Oh, Lord. Presumably they'll notice the Federation invasion when it rolls into orbit and they're beaming the Marines down to First City. Probably drunk on blood wine. Now then, the forecast system. Forecast. Where is it? System map. Yes, oh god. It's that this incompetence is infectious. It was right there on the system list. Ugh. I should probably shoot my helmsman, if only to pass the blame. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the captain is never, ever at fault. While we're on our way, let's just quickly tweak out the UI. Get these off the bar. There are some occasions when you want to set weapons for manual triggering, but things like disruptor cannons really aren't needed. You want optimal fire to those. Stuff like tricobalt weapons in particular, which have a long cooldown. Yeah, you do want those triggering. Mines are another thing, because they are all on a shared and rather long cooldown. Basically, if it's going to need to be triggered at a very specific point, it's one of those things that you really want to have manual control of. As I said, tricobalt weapons are the principal candidate for that. But photons, quantums, and such like, yeah, you want those fired at every opportunity, and you don't want to be giving yourself RSI in the process. Now, that's slightly clunky, so let's rearrange everything. So glad they put this in a few patches back, because the UI used not to be configurable like this, and it was a pain in the neck. We'll just retweak this so it's more or less like the setup I'm used to on my other characters. And with that done, we'll skip ahead straight to the forecast system. Not that there's a lot to edit out, of course. Once you actually work out where it is, the forecast system is just down the road from Kronos. It's about 2 minutes travel, give or take. Right, so we think Tarson is here to knock off Maven, son of Drex and heir to the House of Martok. Of course, Drex doesn't have another son. His clavicle probably hasn't healed up from the last time they tried, and I doubt they've replaced the furniture in the bedroom either. So let's just tweak the power settings. Standard attack setup, 100 weapon power, 50 shields, 25 each to engines and auxiliary. And with efficiencies and class bonuses on top, well, you can see the little green bars. It's more like 115, 55, 30, 30. Just line up as per usual, pre-charge, dump the tractors to make sure he doesn't go anywhere, and open fire. Cannon rapid fire, torpedo high yield, and of course he's dumped tactical team, so his shield's automatically rebalanced. Most of that torpedo salvo gets wasted, but the bleed through had some decent effects. And there we go, he's dumped mines, which is always a little awkward, and they're tractor mines, lovely little Romulan specialty. Fine, we'll just take those out nice and quick. This is why you want turrets rather than an aft torpedo. And he's legged it, hasn't he? Sneaky little sod. Never mind. Battle cloak up. Of course, being a bird of prey, you can do that in red alert. And yeah, apparently your bridge officer talking to you takes you out of cloak. I don't question it. Just don't question it. Incidentally, this is why PvP in space at the moment was always a little bit broken, and they've never really been able to fix it. Part of the problem is that one side can stealth pretty much all its ships, and indeed can dictate the flow of battle by just using birds of prey to hit and run. You only have to engage for 20 seconds at most, and of course if you're on evasive manoeuvres and high engine power, you can pretty much blitz straight by. So, actually, you know what? So, let's just take these guys out. If nothing else, we need the skill points. So, attack approach once again, ready tractors, line up everything else, dump the cloak, and go. Blam, 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 blam. Number 2, torpedo should have recharged by now, not that we're going to need it. And there we go, job is a good one. Birds of prey may be fragile, but ooh, they can do some damage if you get the chance. And of course with a battle cloak you always get the chance, because even if it goes wrong, you can evade away, brace for impact, and just cloak out to avoid the worst of the what I don't. Damn mines. Go away. Aren't tractor beams supposed to jam cloaking? Oh, who cares? Right, this time we will wait for the mission dialogue. Of course he's being assisted by Klingons. Given the choice between treachery and incompetence, let's go for treachery. At least then you know you're going to be up against worthy opponents. So, cloak up and let's get after him again. Dodge through the asteroid belt. Standard rule for Star Trek Online, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already noticed, is that if there isn't background scenery like asteroids or nebulae or dust clouds, you're probably in the wrong bit of the map, particularly on some of these older missions. Now then, where is he, where is he, where is he? Oh, more birds of prey. Now then, this is going to be pretty standard stuff. Circle up, get behind them. Doobie-doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. And then realise that we're practically blundering into that guy's detection range. And yeah, this is the other problem. It's so hard. I mean, practically shoved. Well, we did shove his nose up his impulse manifest, so perhaps. Yes. What can I say? Thankfully, collision damage isn't normally modelled in this game unless you hit ramming speed. Fortunately. Or that would have been embarrassing. We'd have had to explain the paint job afterwards. Apparently Scorched Black is in fashion, particularly on nose jobs for Kronos this year, but good luck convincing anybody of that. Now we'll get this last bird of prey. Everything's on cooldown, so we're going to have to do it slow style, in particular if the gunner can shoot straight. There we go. And finally, he shows himself up. Right, weapons, power, shield power. Tachyon beam to really get rid of his shields. Tactical A for the shield reinforcement and B for the fact that that plasma torpedo could be about to hit and we want the extra weapon skill, and he's dead. Finally, so of course it's not going to be this easy, so we are off to Forecast 3. No doubt still pursuing. Yeah, of course he legged it just in time. They always do. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you when we start episode 2B of Clinging On. Next time, ladies and gentlemen. Next time.